Welcome, Virgo. This is your weekly focus for December the 3rd through to the 9th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Let's turn to the cards and see what they have to tell us about this week coming. Can't seem to pick up the deck. There we go. Our first card is, oh gosh, the Tower appears as our very first card. Change, transformation. I mean, we do have this new moon happening, so we do have to allow closure in our life, endings in our life, healing in our life, completion in our life in order for us to move forward. In order for us to step into the joy and the happiness. And sometimes the things that happen to us in life, man, oh man, we do not see them as positive things in our life. But we look back at it days later, years later, decades later, and we go, wow, I would never be here today if it weren't for that moment in time. Thank goodness for that moment in time. So know that anything you experience this week when it comes to any kind of ending or healing or closure is for your greater good. It's to put you on the right path. This could also indicate a more explosive energy for us this week. So be very mindful of your anger levels, your frustration levels, where you are seeking revenge, resentment perhaps. Be careful of those energies. Re Redirect them. Redirect that energy, because it will be an actual energy that you feel, and I've been saying for most of the readings, go down to the gym, because everybody's been getting this energy. You guys are getting it at the very beginning. Go down to the gym and just hit the punching bag for a couple of hours. Or throw yourself into some heavy labor. Or allow yourself to work on a project that just brings in happiness and joy in your life. That you can do, you and you alone. To not play into where you might feel angry, you want to say something, you want to do something. And go with the flow as much as you can this week. Now we have the new moon on Friday, so I would expect, there's things that need closure in your life. There's things that need completion, and maybe you have been putting it on the back burner. Maybe you've been turning a blind eye to it. And it could be very much in your relationships. It could be because Mars is crossing over Neptune at the time of the new moon in your relationship sector. So Mars is squaring the sun and the moon, and Mars is crossing over Neptune. And the sun and the moon are in the constellation of Hercules. So that's kind of like Mars on steroids. It's just super warrior comes out. And we're going after our truest fantasies, our passions, our dreams, our desires, and it could be within relationships. And we could just have that, the straw that broke the camel's back. So be very mindful of your interactions with relationships this week. Make sure that what you are saying or what you are doing is going to have an end result that you want to have happen. So I'd be very careful of ultimatums this week. Saying it's my way or the highway this week. It'll settle back down to the point where you can have, and it'll probably be something little, and it might even be directed at a complete stranger, because that was the breaking point. It wasn't at all what was happening in your personal relationships, whether we're talking friends or family or co-workers. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands has been a popular card this week. This is asking you to broaden your horizons, to bring more into the picture, So if you're thinking about moving forward in work and career, then you also need to understand where the balance needs or the harmony needs to be created within family or friends or your social life or your recreational life, or where you have time to learn and study and grow. And how one opportunity can actually add a beautiful expansion to all areas of your life if you plan it as such, if you work it into the picture. And the World card, how fitting. How fitting is the World card to be coming up? The last card of the major arcana, and then we go to the Fool energy again. And we have a new moon. So once again, we are in full moon energy until Friday. That's when the new moon appears. So we want to allow closure in our life, completion in our life. We are seeing what doesn't belong on our path going forward. We're also taking stock of our accomplishments, our abilities, our talents, and how we can use that in forward motion. And right now, what is limiting us from doing exactly that? Where have we built our own roadblocks? Where have we have allowed other people to build roadblocks? Where we've given away our power? And how do we clear the way? The High Priestess. Hmm. You know, when you're looking at work or career or what you do in the community, what defines you as a person, you really need to sit in quiet contemplation and really understand the true value of your talents and abilities and how they can take you to the next level and beyond, bigger and better than you ever dreamed possible. And you may think it's not that great, but everybody else would care to differ with you. So where do you self-sabotage when you are when it comes to your talents and abilities? Do you underplay them so that other people feel better about themselves, or the attention isn't drawn towards you, or all of a sudden everybody wants you to do something for them because you can do it and they can't? So where do you pull away? And where is that line of what would truly happen if you allowed your light to shine in a way that's possible? So you're looking at work, you're looking at career, you're looking at how you're going to, what defines you as a person, really? What defines you as a person? I meet you at a party and I say, what do you do? What do you tell me? Do you tell me about your work in the community or in your spiritual center, or what you're doing as far as bringing the family together, as far as health and fitness is concerned, or love and joy? Or do you tell me about work and career? What defines you as a person? There's some nugget um, of talent. It could be just raw talent, even. Maybe you don't even truly know it's there. Maybe you get this new perception or new information comes in that you say, "Well, I can do that," or fill in the blank. Um, it's tapping into your magic. Either you know it's there and you downplay it in some way, you don't allow it to truly lead the way, or you are very unaware of it. And, part of it maybe being truthful with yourself. I mean, that could be all the Tower card is an awakening of the awareness of the beauty of who you are and stripping you of a lot of negative self-doubt that never belonged. Now, how that comes about, we can either address it ourselves through meditation and reflection, or we can wait for the Tower to come in and do it in a not so nice way. So, Nine of Wands. When it comes to relationships, every relationship that you've encountered, whether it was sibling and parent, or parent and parent, or sibling and sibling, or cousin and aunt and uncle and best friends and coworkers and people in the community and your, just your clan, your tribe. But every experience is giving you some kind of wisdom. And you kind of feel like you reinventing yourself, or you're being more authentic in your relationships. You know what you truly want and what you don't want. Be careful how you handle this, because we've already talked about the strong energy that is in your relationship section. So it could be wildly romantic and exotic and beautiful in your life when it comes to the current relationship or a relationship that's going to appear in your life. Or it could get really dark and ugly, depending on how we handle ourselves, on what we attach our emotion to. Do we attach it on trust and honesty and integrity? Or do we look at anger and the frustrations, the conflicts? And you have the wisdom to know how to grow that relationship, strengthen that relationship, or know that it is a toxic relationship in your life, one that you need space from. So it's really about trusting yourself. If you really feel that this isn't good for you, although all the signs show that, I don't know why I'm having these doubts about this person, because everybody loves them and they're great to me, but I get the sneaking suspicion sometimes that there's just another person behind that mask. And you're probably right. Or you walk into a room and everybody gives you that smile, but you can kind of sense that maybe they were saying some not so nice things about you just moments before you walk through the door, and then you like, oh, that's my imagination. Chances are this week, it's not. It's really to trust your intuition, your sage wisdom, in order to define what relationships you truly want to invest in going forward, strengthen going forward, deepen going forward. We have the Queen of Cups. I've been telling everybody new moon affirmations for their meditation, but I'm going to tell you that you just need to look in the mirror and you need to say, I love you. Maybe you need to say, I forgive you. It's okay. You're human. You did what you thought was best. We learned from the experience. It's time to move on. Or maybe you need to say, I love you, because you're beautiful, because of this talent, that talent, because of your failings, because of who you are. To love you, to stand in your truth. That should be your meditation. That should be your your thoughts, your reflections, your prayers. To see the beauty of who you are, of how much you can give to the world through your own beauty, the magic that is held within you, the unique, wonderful soul that you truly are. It's about tapping into that this week, knowing your strength, knowing your convictions, knowing your passions, and loving you. Being grateful for who you are, your experiences up till now. Definitely your experiences up to now. And what you deserve going forward, and expand those horizons, expand those dreams. And the Six of Cups. This could be reminiscing or something from the past coming into play now. Like a deja vu experience. You see somebody and they remind you of somebody you used to know, or it is that person you used to know. It reminds you of a situation, an event in your life, how you handled it. So there could be epiphanies coming through. There could be new awareness. There could be new information that you didn't think about before. You didn't play into the scenario before. About respecting your inner child, the beauty of who you are, the beauty that surrounds you. Look for the beauty that surrounds you this week in the mundane. You know, where do you feel joy and happiness and abundance? When you take a sip of water, does it feel refreshing as you drink it? When you bite into that first bite of your big supper, does it, or your big lunch or your big breakfast, is it as tantalizing in taste as you thought it was going to be? And relish in that. Cherish that happiness, that joy, that satisfaction, that feeling of total contentment that you feel in that very moment. And try doing that. And it's very easy to say, but it's very hard to do because we know that nothing truly lasts. So even the happiest, most joyful of moments, we know too must end, right? And so we can kind of relate a little bit more to, even if it's bad in our life that's happening, we know there'll be an ending, that there'll be a new beginning. There always is. There always will be. But to really celebrate in that gratitude or that joy or that laughter, that happiness, that love, that passion, and let it linger as long as possible in all you do this week. So stay very present. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.